Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. So it's about 20 after 2. It is June 9th, Monday, 19.1 degrees. Look at that, my batteries aren't quite charged yet. 65. For 65 it's seems warm for 65, but whatever. So meet the newest member of the fleet. That's the best way to get to it. I've got so many bombs in this fleet now. It's getting harder and harder to walk toward it. Here it is. Interesting bike. This came from Stony, by the way. It had to get rid of the snowmobile pole starter. This is kind of the bike that launched it all for me. My original bike, I don't know if you guys remember, is a 1985 200S that's got the downshift pattern. What I did is I turned it back into a Honda instead of a, I don't know, snowblower. And I had to put a butterfly spring in here, and I put the copper washer in there, so that's feeling better. This screw hole is stripped out. I'm gonna have to tap it, and the one on the bottom has something broken in it, so I'm gonna have to drill and tap that. So there's the recoil, but I did use it to get it started and ride it up here. This is always pretty cool, right? You always gotta love the stickers on here. You and your, I think that was supposed to be stick figure family, right? So they took a few letters out. So the F word minus the K, you and your, left the S out, so that would be stick, left the F out, figure family. And poor guy's missing some space there. So cosmetic gasket, All Balls Racing, Wisconsin Summit. It's got, you know, your bullet holes and your Honda. Some more bullet holes on top. Front forks aren't bad. Gaskets, they seem okay. Looks like somebody replaced the handlebars, obviously. Somebody popped a 200X front tire on there. Just bringing it up here, it seems to, you know, I gave it a quick blip on the throttle just to kind of see what she had, and she lifted right up. That front tire does seem to skate quite a bit. I don't know if I'm moving around in here or what the story is, but it felt like it was skating on the lawn. Back tires look pretty good. Back plastic, you know, son of Frankenstein, right? It's got some stitches. Trunk is there, though it's cracked, right? Got some stitches here. So this thing was well worn. Air cleaner. You could see it's got one of those screens to keep out the fairly large chunks and the I guess some of the bigger insects. Get these out of the way. I'll fire it up for you. She is running rich. She's a little fussy. Probably what I'll do is I'll throw one of those $25 carbs on it. Oops. There's the seat, not too bad. So I like that bigger front tire, but I don't like the way it handles with that bigger front tire. So I got to see if it's just a matter of the wheel is skating about. That's why it felt, because when I gave it a handful of throttle, and well, she leaped off the front wheel, and then when she came back down on it, it felt like it was skating. It was kind of slithering along. It didn't feel stable. So I got to do something with that. I'll give it a start for you guys. Give me a sec. Just trying to find a good spot to set the camera. Yeah, there we go. Got to do it in a two-step. So we'll give it a quick fire up. It does sound like it's running rich. The smoke that's coming out of it, I think, is from running rich. It doesn't appear to be engine smoke. Though I did check the oil, it's full, but the oil looks a little thin. So you guys could see it starts, it runs, it moves. It powered itself up here. All those are very good things. Now it's just a matter of some of the details. I gotta go through it. The shifter is not welded, which is a plus. Once again, I mentioned that. The I gotta change the angle of this a little bit. I don't like the way the exhaust system is sitting. This might not be the right header pipe here, right? Because it's up against the fins. Probably I'll throw a carburetor in it. Needs an oil change. Not sure why it's got white wheels. Somebody must have painted those. Also in '85, by '85 these things had the one-piece wheels. So I think they might have changed the hubs out. The hubs, that doesn't feel welded. I can't tell. I don't think that's welded either. So the hubs aren't welded. That's a good thing. That means I can always drill and throw another set of tires on it if I feel so inclined. So folks, 1985 200S's. What should you know about these things? These things have the up shift pattern. 85 and 86 have the up shift pattern. Not quite as much fun as the 84 and older. With the 84, you could be in neutral, and if you step down on it, it would go into first. But if you held it down, you would cause the clutch to slip. So then you could gun the engine up, and then when you let go of it and the spring popped it up, it would be in first, and the clutch would engage, which would allow you to wheelie it. It's a little harder to do on this version. Also, it's just a little easier. Like if you're in a turn and you're sitting on the seat and you're going into a turn, you could downshift it. Let's say go from if it's a tight turn, let's say you're coming out of third, you can bring it down into second, and in one motion kind of throw the side around, give it a bunch of fuel, then take your foot off of that, and she would break loose, right? And meanwhile, once your foot is off, you can kind of counterweight yourself, move your leg outward. So for sliding and racing, the older guys were a tad more interesting to ride. You could do a little more technique. With what I'm describing, to have to lift it up and hold it while you're going into a turn, your body is kind of in more of a rocky situation. So back for people in the day that used to race these things. Well, I'm down here in the garage floating around. I gave that Titan battery a quick charge. I gave that gel cell in the back a quick charge. This is the battery out of the truck. It seems to have a dead cell. It seems to be hanging out around 10 volts. So I'm trying to give it a bit of a push to see if I can't get it to take a charge, but it's probably dead. Probably what I'll do is my next run to the scrapyard, I'll get rid of it. But I'm just kind of hopping around, making sure all the batteries in the fleet are charged. I like That's Schaefer, I think. Schumacher, right? First time I saw that, Peppercat Keith had one, and I saw it and I'm like, wow, that's a really cool battery charger. Then I was at one of these sales and I saw one reasonable and I just had to have it, so I picked it up. Actually, I think I even paid for that. That might have been one of them $25 deals instead of what I normally like to pay, which is less than 10 for a battery charger. Alright folks, I'll show you the 110, the parts I got for the 110. I'll show you that in a second. But in the meantime, let me end this before it gets too horribly long. I guess I don't know, who is that? Is that Miss August or is that Miss September? I think that's Miss August. And the 200X is Miss September. I'm not sure. God, I keep losing count on these things. I'm probably, if I had to guess, there is a possibility. I'm just taking a look here to see if I left my notes floating around anywhere. There's a possibility I might pick up too many bikes this year. That happens occasionally. So if that happens, the only person I could yell at is myself. I don't see my piece of paper floating around. I should like write stuff on the wall around the boxes or something. I should probably just write on the wall so that for all eternity we'll know who's who. Yeah, that's what I should do. I'm not seeing the paper around. I thought I deliberately put it someplace where I wouldn't lose it. Which means the first thing I always do is lose it. Alright folks, rather than hear me babble and see me looking about and not finding things, let's end this. Folks, thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, your head up, and we'll catch you on the next episode of The Hoard, which will be shortly. Bye now.